It is.
Here I am again.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Hi.
So we're here with a few other diamonds. There's Nikki Hinkle, there's Heather Burke. So we're all standing here asking questions with Stephen. Tell us your title.
I'm the Director of Global Innovation and Product Development.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so I'm going to flip questions. Okay, so Stephen, we've got a lot of people on our teams who are athletes and are excited about, we've got a lot of athletes who don't understand how helpful Plexus already is for folks who are your everyday run-of-the-mill athlete all the way to competitive athletes. Mm-hmm. What products do you think are the most exciting for athletes?
Well, I think for athletes, obviously, they're going to want the proteins, they're going to want the whey protein isolates depending on their needs. But I think one of the things that a lot of athletes neglect is the whole microbiome. I mean, that's not just important for just us, the non-athletic types like myself, but it's also very important for athletes as well, because what they don't always understand is having a good microflora will change their whole body's metabolism. And a lot of these other, athletic products or sports nutrition products are designed to help people with their metabolism. And so they're all, how you look at protein, for example, everybody's looking for the most pure protein, right? The protein isolates and so forth, because they're trying to extract out the most pure form. But if you get your microbiome working and your metabolism comes up with it, your body's going to do what it should be doing with the protein in the first place. So I think the Slim's a great product for athletes, and we've got. But I'd say start with that, because I think the other products aren't really designed for sports nutrition. It's not going to give them what they're looking for. But I think we have some really good products in the pipeline that they'll soon come to love if they haven't already tried them. So, the Slim be a good place to start. In the future, I think there's really great things to come that they probably would gravitate towards.
So, microbiome is one of my love languages. And so I'm a mental health professional, and I won't ask you any questions that would put you in a gray zone with compliance. But let me ask you this. For the average person, what we see on the rise are just basic nervousness, just kind of the tension, the daily stress of living in a busy environment with lots of stimulation and distraction and very poor sleep. And, of course, we've got our compromised food and compromised guts. What can you say for people's mood health if they could get more maybe up to speed on the current microbiome research between the gut and the brain axis?
That whole area is a really big field for research. There's still a lot of unknowns, but it looks very promising now. And the gut-brain axis is a new concept. So you see a lot of correlation studies, like, well, if this is here, then we see this positive effect here. But the causation and the direct connection is still being researched. So the way we approach the Slim reformulation is, as opposed to, we have a probiotic product, right? So what we focused on with Slim is giving it the prebiotic, because if you're feeding your gut microbiome the essential nutrients that it needs, it will begin to take care of itself, and the gut-brain axis as a secondary effect should get better. So, I can't tell you we've done these research studies and can directly tell you that yes, our product did X, Y, and Z, but we have done some Shime studies, which is a really good indicator for in vitro of what the human digestive tract looks like and does, and what we look to see the effects. So the bacteria that we've gotten really good positive results on, like the Akkermansia, has been great for, there's initial science with Akkermansia and the correlation to lean body mass and metabolizing fats and sugars and general health. But these are the types of things I was discussing. As the research, isn't exactly there, but we've done some indirect studies to help us. We're on the forefront of the research as much as everyone else is, but there's still a lot of research that needs to be done. But we're using the in vitro models to give us a good indicator of what we could expect to see in humans, and I think that looks very promising and exciting. So when you talk about mood and a direct correlation to the microbiome, there is a lot of emerging research and science in that area. And just anecdotally, for people who are taking Slim and what they've seen as their microflora gets better, it looks very promising, and I like to think that we're having a positive effect on it. But again, it's not something I could tell you we've clinically studied in the human population, but we've done as good a job we can with the tools that we have at our disposal to get us there. So, I'd say that look for further research to come from us and from the science community in general, but it all looks very promising. And I think, like I said, if we start with the prebiotic and its positive effects on the microflora, I think that's the best place to start, and we'll build on that as products for Plexus and for our research as it goes forward.
Can you tell us where you've been career-wise in the past?
Do you think they care, or Cindy would care?
I think the industries would be fine for you. Just share what you've done.
The last MLM I worked at was Isogenics, and I brought in another researcher from there as well who used to report to me before. And before that, I was at a smaller company doing retail sales. So MLM, this is my second company in direct sales. But before that, I've been doing dietary supplements and nutritional products for over 20 years now. So I still have products I formulated in Costco, in Walgreens, CVS, Vitamin Shop, and GNC. So a lot of the products I've worked on before are still being sold and doing really well. But this is in the direct sell space. I'm still kind of new, but it's the same nutritional, same science, and the same product development cycles that we see. And so, I'm really happy at Plexus. I like the culture. I love the ambassadors. Every ambassador I meet, I just love hearing your stories about the products. And so that's one thing I really love about the direct sell space as opposed to retail, is getting to see all of you. Because when you're doing stuff for retail, you kind of kick it over to the store and you hope they sell it and they get to interact with the customers, but we never get to see them. So this is a lot more fulfilling and rewarding working at a direct sell company, especially Plexus. Just the feedback we get from you, the ambassadors, and seeing the difference it makes in your lives, both from the products themselves plus the financial impact. It's just, I'm really happy at Plexus, and it's just been a great experience so far.
This is my last question. I will stop If you were to get excited about one area, you can't tell us ahead of time anything about product launches, but just if there was one thing that kind of gets you excited about being here right now in Plexus and in product development, what is that?
Well, that's an easy question. What's really nice is the executives are very supportive of building the R&D and investing in the science and investing in the products going forward. And as a product developer and a scientist, it's like you can't be happier. It's like a kid in a candy store when they're willing to support you and hire. I mean, our staff is growing. We've got 2 new product developers starting in the next month or 2. I've already hired 2, and we had a couple to begin with, and we're really growing the science team. So I feel as ambassadors just so excited about that, just knowing that you're getting a really solid world-class team. I mean, I was just thinking of, and we're not just taking, we're really selectively pulling in people with different backgrounds to really pull a really sound research, product development, and commercialization team together. And not just from the product development standpoint, from the quality, the regulatory, the quality of the standards we manufacture our products. Everything is just coming up. It's just so exciting to see and be a part of. And what excites me, to answer your question, is getting to build that the right way from the ground up, as opposed to coming to another organization. It's very hard to change that. Once those, processes and mentalities are already set. What's great about Plexus is I feel like I have like a blank slate to really do great, wonderful things, and we've got a great team to put all the great science together and the great products. So that's what excites me the most, is just the things to come and the stuff that we're working on now that we can't tell you about. But it's just really exciting to be able to do that and have that opportunity. And like I said, the executive team's given us so much support and invested in the science. We've got a solid foundation. We're just going to get stronger and bigger and better.
Okay, and I lied because I said I had a promise. Last question. I get asked all the time about product sourcing, and I never have a good answer. So product sourcing and product, ingredient integrity. Can you just speak to, because we're living with our teams right now. So.
Yeah, and someone asked me a similar question yesterday, and the way I explained it was, okay, we've got a balancing act of looking at the new product developments we've got, and then the older ones that we're looking at is maybe reconfiguring or finding good homes for it, or maybe renovating. So it's always a matter of where do you spend that time, right? So I agree with you. I love the transparency aspect of ingredient sourcing, but honestly, just with the amount of people we've got and the stage that we're at in the growth cycle of our science team, we're not quite ready to be able to do that. And it's more of a strategic thing that I think the executives would all have to agree that we're going to do that. But I can tell you that the products we manufacture are all made here in the U.S. We test all of our incoming ingredients for identity, purity, impurities as well, for Prop 65 compliance. So everything we make, we can tell you that yes, we can answer those questions. Now, specifically, where did that one ingredient come from? I mean, I don't think I could tell you every one of those today right now, but going forward, I could tell you as we formulate, we're totally aware of where these come from, and we're always sourcing high quality ingredients, high purity, so we can give you the same product from lot to lot, batch to batch. All our manufacturers in the U.S., they all follow the CGMP for the FDA, the CFR 111 for dietary supplements, or the CFR 110 for a nutritional product. So I can tell you that the quality's there and the standards are there. Even our manufacturers tell us, you guys do so much testing and you don't really get the benefit of telling everybody about it. And I go, I know, it's one of those things though, you can't only do it on one or two products, you have to try to do it for all of them. And I think that's the challenge in going to a program like that. And like I said, it's not something we haven't discussed internally, but like I said, you've got to balance where you spend your time, and maybe in the future we can get to being a little more transparent, but it just takes a firm commitment because you really have to keep up with it. And I think as we build out our organization, it's something we can revisit again in the future. But right now, it's just a little too early for us.
Love it. Thank you. You've been really patient.
Yeah, no problem. We're here for you.
We're grateful, and I know our teams are grateful. And so tell us your last name.
Roman.
Okay, Dr. Stephen Roman.
Not a doctor. Just
not a doctor.
Yeah. Don't let the lab go for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.